Mr. Purcell is my AP chemistry teacher. He teaches 5 sections, and every week he spends nearly 10 hours grading. He once told me feedback is one of the most powerful drivers of learning, but by the time he returns it, the class has already moved on. That's the problem, because here's what happens today. Students often says, I thought I understood it until the test. That gap between instruction and actual students' insight is where learning breaks down. But Learning Loop eliminates that delay. Hi, my name is Coco Chen, and I'm one of the founders of Learning Loop. Education researcher John Haiti in Visible Learning analyzed over 800 studies and found that feedback has an effective size of 0.7, nearly double the average instructional strategy. Yet in practice, the feedback loop is broken. According to the OECD Teaching and Learning International Survey, teachers spend over 265 hours annually on assessment-related tasks. The National Education Association reports record levels of teacher burnout, with 62% of the teachers saying grading is the worst part of their job. The issue isn't that the teacher doesn't care. It's that they lacked real-time instructional intelligence. We first off used the ERRC framework. We systematically redesigned the industry's value curve. The industry assumes feedback must happen after instruction. We eliminate delayed grading cycles and end-of-a-unit feedback dependency. We also eliminate static dashboards that simply reports data without interpreting it. Most importantly, we eliminate the burden on teachers to manually analyze raw performance trends. Next up, what do we reduce? Educational technology companies overinvest in engagement mechanics, gamification, badges, visual dashboards, but those features don't necessarily improve understanding. We reduce dashboard complexity, fragmented tool ecosystem, and the cognitive load placed on teachers to navigate multiple platforms. We also reduce manual grading time and passive data reporting that doesn't translate into action. Third, we raise what truly drives achievement. We raise real-time instructional responsiveness, clarity of actionable insight, and the precision of misconception detection at both the individual and classroom level. And finally, we create what the industry has never offered. We create a new market space, instructional intelligence, a system that embeds adaptive micro-feedback loops directly into live instruction, a platform that predicts gaps before they widen, a continuous, human-in-the-loop intelligence layer that supports, not replaces teachers. Here's how it works. Teachers input lesson content. The system generates adaptive micro-quizzes instantly, and students respond. Within seconds, Learning Loop detects individual misconceptions, class-wide patterns, and learning gaps. It then recommends immediate next instructional steps. It does not replace teachers' judgment. It arguments it. It identifies patterns at scale, but teachers still determine students' hard work and remains the right to make decisions.
Hi, I'm Edwin, co-founder of Learning Loop, and I'll show you how we do it. On this slide, we identified the key competing factors in today's educational technology market. Most platforms compete on engagement features. That's why our competitors score high, around a 4, on participation tools and interactive elements. However, when we look at what truly matters for learning, real-time insights, misconception detection, instructional recommendations, personalization, and workload reduction, competitors score extremely low, often between a 1 or 2. For example, misconception detection during instruction scores a 1 for traditional tools. Instructional recommendation also scores a 1. Teachers still have to interpret fragmented data manually. However, Learning Loop shifts this entirely. We score a 5 in real-time insights, a 5 in misconception detection, a 5 in instructional recommendation, and a 5 in workload reduction. Instead of competing on surface-level engagement, we compete on instructional intelligence. This table makes one thing clear. The industry optimizes for participation. However, we optimize for understanding. This slide shows the 3 tiers of non-customers that Learning Loop unlocks. Tier 1 consists of teachers already using engagement tools like Peer Deck or Google Forms. They are soon to be non-customers because these tools don't actually save time or interpret understanding. They are frustrated and ready for a better solution, which is what we provide. Tier 2 includes teachers who avoid educational technology entirely. Many believe digital tools increase workload or complicates instructions. Learning Loop attracts them because it reduces grading by 76% and works directly within their existing lessons. Tier 3 represents entirely unexplored non-customers. Smaller districts without analytics infrastructure, international schools with large class sizes, and schools lacking instructional coaches. These institutions typically don't adopt real-time data systems because they're expensive or too complex. By simplifying instructional technology and instructional intelligence and making it affordable at approximately $5 per student per year, Learning Loop converts these non-customers into customers. We're not just competing for market share, we're expanding the market itself and creating the blue ocean.